Please excuse me while I fanboy out here for just a minute. In general, I'm really digging this more grown-up approach to gaming hardware. Products that aren't just Mountain Dew fueled and can move through music, watching movies, and playing games. If any audio brand should be well represented here, Sennheiser is a brand I've trusted my entire professional career. I use my old beat-up HD25s and my newer 599s as baseline comparison tools. Now for gaming headsets, I'll likely turn to the GSP as a reference point too. Recalling the chunky construction of the Urbanite headphones I reviewed a couple years back, the 550s strike a happy balance between a militarized gaming aesthetic and a rugged broadcast look. You likely won't see them on a sportscast, but they'll look solid. Grown up even, on your favorite Twitch stream. No hardware space allocated for trends like RGB. The GSP stay focused on comfort and audio reproduction. I love the action on these arms for extending the ear cups, and few other manufacturers put as much thought into the headband clamp. Like my HD25 split band, the GSP have sliders that can adjust for the shape of your skull. You can strip a fair amount to repair or replace the cable detaches with a standard phono jack. The ear pads can be swapped, though the headset does not come with spare parts in the box, and the cover plates can also be removed. There are two flavors of this headset, the 600 and the 550. These 550 are billed as open-backed, but I would call this design more vented. Only the top third of the ear cup is really exposed. But that is enough, obviously, to open your headset up to outside noise. When you're in a controlled gaming space, I genuinely prefer the sound of more open cans. The sound is a little more natural, and you don't feel so claustrophobically cut off from the world around you when your mom yells up to tell you your tendies are done. Like the external aesthetic, I find the acoustic profile strikes a happy balance between satisfying game thump without sacrificing some of the more delicate nuance in music. I don't love a lot of the software profiles that gaming hardware comes with, but keeping the EQ preset to off, the 550s handled most of my favorite audio tracks well. And this kind of hardware is absolutely stellar for action films. No surprise given the intended target market, which is gaming, and we should probably talk about that. This headset only comes with a USB adapter and boasts support for 7.1 surround sound. Now, this soundstage is well represented, but depending on the game, this either felt like a good surround experience or it created a similar vertical halo effect to what I experienced on Creative's recent Sound Blaster X. I wish we had some kind of unified audio processing platform like DirectX, but Sennheiser's software scores wins more often than it distracts depending on the games you play. It's also worth mentioning, though, there is a heavy PC focus to this headset. You only get the USB cable, and if you want to use these cans with a console or with a phone or with another DAC, you'll have to front another $16 for one of the replacement analog cables. And lastly, we should talk about the mic. I walk into every Sennheiser review with extremely high expectations, and this company has consistently managed to meet them. All of the VO for this review was recorded from the GSP, and I really don't have any complaints. Because they're open-backed, you'd likely not want to use this headset in a noisy environment, regardless. And any environment comfortable for listening will likely be just fine for voice chat. This company has deep roots in broadcast and recording, and the 550s highlight that expertise very well. Don't abuse your team members with a crappy mic. So that's enough rambling from me. Let's wrap this up. Where's that leave us with the GSP 550? I was pretty confident I was going to enjoy this review, and the headset does not disappoint. Though we do need to balance this experience against a price premium. $250 does not max out the high end for gaming hardware, but it's pretty well up the price ladder for a cabled solution. And depending on how you use them, you might need that extra cable. Against my last Sennheiser headset, the Game 1, which felt a lot like Senny stapled a microphone onto a set of 500 series headphones, I feel the GSP price premium is justified. The 550s are better purpose-built for their intended audience, and I'd likely take the 550s over the few wireless options I've tried near this price. But there are many who might prefer the convenience of cutting the cable over some notion of audio fidelity. I'll have to save a wired versus wireless comparison for a future standalone video, but sticking with the cable, these things are tough to beat. I'll of course have links down below this video where you can find more info on the Sennheiser GSP 550. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing, for subscribing. I've got more fun audio reviews on the way, and I've been having a blast returning to some of my recording and headphone roots. If you'd like to support production on this channel, please consider heading on over to SomeGadgetGuy.com and clicking on the support banner, where you can find the current up-to-date list of all my partnerships and affiliates. Or you could also consider joining my Patreon. Like the list of names currently up on the screen right now, this is becoming a fun community of like-minded tech fans. I'll help you check it out, patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Instagrams, the Twitters, and the Facebooks, and I will catch you all on the next review.